Hello. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. There is a word around us and there is a word inside us. Incidentally or unfortunately, all of our effort is on the word which is outside our body. As a result, we get money, we get fame, we get authority, we get knowledge, we get different jobs, and we start gathering different things around us: gadgetry, home, cars, appliances, and other gadgetry which we presume that is making us happy and adding value in our life. I'm not denying all those or any of them. They are important needs and we must work hard. The economic system of the world works in such a way that if money is generated and then it is being circulated, you get the benefit out of it and society also grows along with that. However, it is very, very important that this effort has to be parallel with the effort on ourself as well, because as there is a universe outside, there is a universe inside as well. What we have what we have achieved has meaning only and only when it is matched with the fact that what we are, our being, has to be improved along with our outside world. If our being is not improved, the outside words just give us uh, an impression. It gives us a, a false idea that we are growing. It gives us a false idea that we are successful. The real success is when we start growing from inside. So in this channel, which I have recently started, I have a channel in Urdu language, which has about 2.34 million people on it, and I have discussed a vast majority, vast type of topics and versatile topics about inner transformation on that Urdu channel. But in this English channel, I will, from today onward, I will try to just work on with you, with your help and support, that how we learn the art of inner transformation, how we work inside. And I'll not be confusing you with the philosophical terms. I'll not be confusing you with some complex skills. I will just be starting with a very basic thing. See, the most important and a basic thing, which is a fundamental pillar of inner transformation, is working on our own health. If we are physically healthy, only then we can use our complete potentials. See, if someone is having continuous diarrhea, if someone is having hypertension, if someone is having uh, fatty liver, someone is having kidney diseases, even if he wants to do something very noble, something very sacred, he will not be able to perform it, the way it has to be. So looking after our health is one of the most and paramount factor in the journey of the inner transformation. So, in this video, next 5-10 minutes, I would like to share with you three very important pillars around which working on our health is based. Number one, what we eat. There's a famous saying, we are what we eat. In physical terminologies, this is 100% correct. See, there's a glass of water, it is H2O. I take it, and after few hours, it becomes Javed Iqbal, which is my name. You take a carrot, you take a tomato, you take two bananas, and they have got different entities. But when you eat it, there is an intelligence in our body which converts into Javed Iqbal. This is Javed Iqbal, and few days before, this was actually, it may be in an egg. This Javed Iqbal may be in a piece of loaf. So there is a immense intelligence which is present in our body, which converts what we eat into what we are. So this is why it's very important that whatever we consume orally, that has to be appropriate. Unfortunately, most of the things which we eat are actually not food. Our body works with a very complex type of chemical reactions, and the chemical cycles are going on in our body, and they are tuned in such a way that a particular type of ingredient is considered as food for them, which is carbohydrates, which are proteins, which are fats, which is water, which is vitamins, and different trace elements like manganese, like calcium, like zinc, like copper, like iron. Now, these six things are actually the food. Out of that, the first three, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, they are essential ingredient of our body, the constituents of our cells. Along with that, they provide energy as well. Because I'm talking to you, it consumes energy, and it actually consumes energy. You are watching it, it consumes an energy. My friend is holding the camera and he's recording it, it consumes the energy. So whatever we do, even if we are sitting still, we are consuming the energy. Now, this energy is produced by these three ingredients. But there is a very, very delicate type of balance which one has to keep in mind, that from which ingredient we should get the energy, and which are the ingredients which we have to spare. So, in this way, what I want to just tell to you is that whatever we eat has to be food. And the criteria to label it food is anything which is organically produced is a food. Anything which is grown from a plant is a food. Anything which we get from other living bodies like animals, cattles, goats, sheep, poultry, that is food, right? And out of these two, I think, in my opinion, the ratio to the vegetative origin food to the animal protein and animal food has to be 90 to 10. And for completion purpose, I would also like to say that even if you just leave the animal protein, even if you don't eat anything from animal, still you are not missing anything. And just food which is coming from the plants is enough to give you your required protein, your required fatty acids, your required fat. Whatever you need is enough from the vegetable sources. However, you can supplement it with the animal food as well. So that is the most important point. Now, I told you that anything which grows from the plant is a food, in contrast to anything which is produced in the plants, right? So anything which is artificially produced, anything which is tinned, anything which is packed, anything which has got preservatives, anything which is made in a factory is actually not food. But unfortunately, in our modern world, if you just look at your 24 hours food consumption, you'll find that majority of it is one which is actually not organic food. And as a result, what we eat is that is what we become, right? And this becoming is not just physically, that our muscles are not strong or our body is not functioning properly, we have our liver has a problem, our kidney has problem. It affects on our thought process as well. It also affects our emotions as well. And as a result, when emotions, our intelligence, and our body functions, they are disturbed, it affects our purpose of life as well. On our spirituality is also affected by that. So please remember, the first message is, please keep a guard, keep an eye on it, that what we eat has to be food. The second point is, we almost always eat much more than what we need. So there has to be a conventional two meal, and in between, the routine munching has to be avoided. Just we feel slightly hungry and we just take something. Now, this is not a good practice. So the amount of the food has to be not much, not more than what is required. When you take more than what we required, it is not because that we need it, it is because we develop a lust of it. We develop an addiction of eating. And due to different factors, which we will discuss in subsequent videos, I will just further explain it to you, that because of that, we keep on eating. And when we keep on eating and our body does not need it, body has to pack it and convert it into fat, and that fat goes on our you know uh, fat cells, which are in abundance in front of our tummy and the different part of the bodies. So what we have to take food, not something which is not food. And the quantity I have told you. The third thing is that, what are the timings? There has to be a good breakfast, a savory breakfast. Savory breakfast means that it should contain very minimal refined sugar. It should be started with vegetables. Then you can add, then afterwards, proteins, and at the end, maybe you take some of the sugars, but that too in the form of the raw vegetables or raw fruits. That should be the order of a breakfast. Similarly, for the lunch, you can have some light snacks, and the dinner has to be a good food, but this dinner must be just after sunset. It's a common practice in a modern world to take a dinner very late. There has to be at least 3 hours difference between time of sleep and the dinner. We should not sleep hungry, but we sleep an empty stomach. This is very, very important. So, this is about the timing of the food. Then, how we take it? We take food very quickly. Please remember that our body has got an excellent mechanism of handling the food, and it starts from our oral cavity. When we take something in a mouth, some time has to be spent in the mouth where it requires crushing, it requiring a psychological benefit of it by touching the taste buds to an extended period of time so that we can feel. This is commonly called the mindful eating. That is only possible if our taste buds are sufficiently stimulated so that the messages they go into our head and we really enjoy the food. We become a friend of the food. A body has a friendly relationship with the food, and when it is sufficiently, for a sufficient period of time, it stays in our mouth, it mixes with the saliva, and process of digestion started from the mouth. And when it is crushed, it is mechanically broken into small tissues. So the key point is that the principle of eating is that once the bolus of the food is sufficiently crushed, you have enjoyed it, then you just push it into your gullet and then you take the second bite. So, uh, if you do it like that, a, a standard meal has to be finished in around 25 minutes of time. If we do it much earlier than that, so we are doing something wrong. And 25 minutes is also a very critical cutoff line because it takes 25 minutes to produce a hormone in our body which is called ghrelin. When ghrelin is produced, when you start eating, from that time to 25 minutes, the ghrelin is produced. And then ghrelin is an actually anti-satiety hormone. It tells us that it's enough now. So if you take it quickly, you take large amount of meal before you get the satiety, before you get the satisfaction. But if you take it slowly, you enjoy it more. It takes lesser time for our intestine to digest the food. You get maximum out of the food and you get the satiety quickly, so you don't eat much. Now, what are the things which we should not eat? Well, all refined sugars is totally banned. If I have an authority, I am someone who can pass a law, or I'm a law enforcing agency. If I'm in charge of that, I can seal all the sugar making factories, because if you don't buy sugar, if your kitchen cabinet does not have white sugar, uh, um, there is no effect on your health. Actually, there is a good effect on your health. So all refined sugars, all sweets, all bakery products, all sweetie drinks, बैठ जा, all sweetie drinks, they should not be part of our food, right? Secondly, the fruit, if you have to take fruit, all fruits are good. However, their juices are as sweet as the ordinary molecule of the sugar. So body does not consider a difference between a molecule of a sugar which you extracted from an orange juice or the one which is produced in a factory. So pure juices, they are as as troublesome for the body as any other sugary content. However, if you have to take fruit juices, it has to be in the form of raw fruit. When you take it with the raw fruit, then there is ample amount of fiber attached with that, and because of that fiber, the digestion is slow, and sugar spike of the sugar does not come, which does not result in the insulin spike, which is responsible for the obesity and fatty liver and metabolic disorders. So These are some of the tips. Plenty of water has to be taken. At least 8 glasses a day is a must in 24 hours. And it is always better that you can take a lot of water till Maghrib time, and after that you take little, so that you don't wake up in the night for the loo. So in this video, I wanted to cover other aspects of the health as well, but I think this is enough cognitive load. Please assimilate these points. You can just revisit this video. You can share it with your friends. You can also play this video on a bigger screen in front of your family, and then make a plan that in your house, in your family, in your personal workplace, what will be the eating discipline which you will follow from now onward. And please do comment if you have any other suggestion, because this channel is basically started for diaspora from the eastern countries, from Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and all those countries who have got an eastern culture, and they are living in the western world. And I have found that the first generations, they understand Urdu, and this is why, if I look at the analysis and statistics on my Urdu channel, then most of it is from these countries. So, and there is a continuous request that whatever you talk, whatever 2000 videos you have on your YouTube, you need to convert them into English as well, so that their children or those who are not very well versed with Urdu can understand that. So I'll continue with that. Since this channel is new, this is why I would like to request you to please do share it, do tell your friends about it, and I'm going to put a lot of stuff on it which will be regarding the inner transformation. Thank you very much for this patient watching.